Welcome back once again to the EU Challenger League playoffs. It is our first series of our lower bracket first round. Helios versus VIPERIO 86. You cannot really call what we're about to see here after what we saw in the quarterfinals. And this could be a bit of a scrappy game. I mean, we did see these two face off in the group stages, so this is a rematch. Helios got the win there.
Yeah, as you stated out, it is indeed a rematch. They played on bank in the group phase before against each other. It was VIPERIO 86 to start on the fence. Eventually, somewhere in the game, they had a 5-2 lead going on. But I just kind of really gave it away because the final score was 5-7 for VIPERIO. I mean, we had Joe walk into Frostmat at some point in that game. That Frostmat was laying behind a couch in CEO. That isn't really good for your mental and the vibes within the team. VIPERIO 86 had a pretty strong defense, but I feel like both teams might be struggling a little bit on attack.
Yeah, I mean, definitely both teams have been struggling on attack, so it'll be interesting. I think what will be the deciding factor here today is who is able to actually adapt and change their attacks. I mean, they've had about a week and a half off, maybe even a week. You know, that gives them plenty of time to scrim and come up with better attacking strategies. What that shows, though, Ian, is that teams that struggle in attack are usually teams that are a little bit less in synergy, because attacking is way more about synergy than defending. In defenses, you can just hold an angle, you can just sit back and relax and hope for somebody to walk into your crosshairs. But when in attack, you just have to communicate with your teammates and actually have to be able to pull something off.
Antox, how much pressure is on 86 here? Because we know that they really need to dictate the pace here if they're going to do well.
Definitely. A lot of pressure. I mean, especially when facing a team like Helios, you know that it's a team that I wouldn't say it's not that they don't care, but they just don't feel that pressure. They're just like, you know what, let's play it like any other game. Let's play it like we're playing a game of ranked. That's, you know, that doesn't bring me anything. It just brings me a little bit of in-game elo. That's the way that they play it. But there's a whole lot more on the line right here for Helios and VIPERIO. So I think that VIPERIO is the one that will feel the pressure here today, especially knowing that they're getting casted by some UK people. I mean, you don't want to be, you don't want demo molding again.
No, you definitely do not. Now, we know that, well, here's two things we know. We don't know how 86 will set up against this side because Helios are so unpredictable, their strats are. But one thing we can predict is that they are going to be reckless with their playstyle.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams, I reckon, because we've seen the VIPERIO 86 play very aggressive before. They have, for example, Joe, they have a Akari that could just literally swing, like we saw in the clip a little bit earlier, but also for Helios. And I'd like to point out Nitro, what I said earlier. It feels like he is just comfortable with any operator that he could play. He plays off-meta operators. We've seen him play Knock. I've seen him on the Glass. We've seen him perform two really good clutches on the Frost, those 1v4s on Oregon last week. So he feels comfortable on anything, and it's going to be really difficult for VIPERIO 86 to properly prepare for that. But I just hope to see the aggression from both teams, because we know it's there in VIPERIO, and we know it could be there for Helios too.
I mean, Helios, their playstyle does match Joe's playstyle, right? We know Joe is quite an aggressive player, somebody that's not afraid to, you know, go for the gunfights, go for the peak. So I think that today will be it'll be a very fun matchup to watch.
Well, you mentioned Joe there. Let's talk about him, because this is a big moment for not just VIPERIO 86. This is a big moment for him in his professional career. It's a chance for him to prove himself. We talked about it at the very beginning of this process that, you know, he's coming off the back of a rough time at Na'Vi. He really wants to prove that he can go at the highest level. I know that his team and a lot of his fans have a lot of faith in him. So tonight, it's a big opportunity for him, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's one way to get back towards that EOL where he's been before. So for him, a really interesting moment and a very important moment to show that he does have what it takes to go back to EOL. Obviously, he's got a good team surrounding him. So I hope that he can perform well tonight, and that definitely the other players on the team can have that positive rating and that positive performance too.
And next to that, let's not forget that Joe was also close to joining Gamma Gaming. Gamma Gaming, the team that was knocked out. So, you know, you see the other team that didn't really want you anymore get knocked out. You're only getting more fierce and eager to actually make it further than they have.
Right. One thing I'm really interested in here, when you look at our predictions earlier, right? We all picked VIPERIO 86 to get the win here. But we do know that Helios like to be looked at as the underdogs, so they're going to be gunning for it. And I think that there's a good chance, well, maybe not a good chance, there is a chance that we could all have egg on our face here tonight.
Yeah, I think it might depend on what kind of maps we'll play. We'll see, right? Because they played before on Bank against each other. Well, that game, obviously, as we pointed out with the Frost map, wasn't really nice for Joe's mental, perhaps. So I'm curious to see what maps will be let through today, if they'll play on Bank again or if they'll play on different kind of maps. It's going to be interesting. That might definitely play a really big role in what the outcome of the game will be.
Should we find out? Are you ready?
I am.
All right, let's take a look. Here are our maps for our first series here. As you can see, they're appearing on your screen right now, as if by magic.
Bank.
And we've got some shocked faces. I'll go to you first, Dan, just simply because of your reaction.
Yeah, I see Bank as a potential decider, right? So we'll have to get 2 maps before we even get there. But first I see Chalet, I see Coastline as well. Looking at VIPERIO, they've played on both of these maps. So Helios might have a shot of knowing how to prepare against VIPERIO 86. However, Helios has not played on Chalet or Coastline in the playoffs yet. So like that unpredictability that we said before, it's going to be even more because you don't know how the team will play on that kind of map. But I like to see Chalet. I like to see Coastline. Definitely with the attacker favorite maps here, so I hope that both teams can get their attack sorted out.
Yeah, definitely. Coastline will be make or break for both teams here. Just as you said, it's a bit more of an attacker favorite map. So, seeing which team has prepared their attacks better, that will be all be shown here during the Coastline map.
We did talk about pressure a little bit earlier on, and there's not much more pressure that can be on your back than knowing that if you don't get this done here this evening, you exit the tournament. And that's a different level of mental that you need to bring to the table here, because that extra life that we talk about, this is it.
It's major. Imagine you were here at the desk knowing that if you mess up, you'll never be at any desk anymore. That's the feeling that they have right now.
There's always more series for them to play after this. This wouldn't be their last time at the desk
for a year. A year, right?
Okay.
I mean, Challenger League is once a year, so imagine you won't be able to stand behind a desk for a year again. I mean, immense pressure, immense.
Which roster do you think has the mentality to deal with that pressure better?
Ooh. I do hope that VIPERIO 86 has that mentality, because, I mean, they might have felt like they threw it a little bit last time. They should have just closed it out, for example, on Villa, I think is what some players of their team said. Helios, I think they're just playing to have fun mostly. And I think if you are losing a few rounds, being able to keep up that fun and keep up that positive atmosphere will definitely help them for sure.
All right, we know we know who you think is going to win this series. But I think we should get some predictions for each map. I did actually ask production if, just to make this feel a bit more spicy, we could get some light swinging around, build a bit of drama as we go along here. I'm hoping that they just go, whoa, there you go. Have a bit of that. That brings a bit more gravitas to this situation. Starting with this first map, who do you think is going to take it? Anthox.
VIPERIO.
Simple as that?
Simple.
That's how confident you are.
Look
how confident you are. I like it. Anne?
Yeah, I think VIPERIO as well. I was just looking at my notes to see when Helios actually played Chalet. It was only in the open qualifiers against Delta Project. So VIPERIO 86 played on this map before. They won it 7-3, so I do think that they feel confident here.
I said at the beginning about Marmite when it comes to Helios' approach to Siege and the way they play. And they've got fans of their play style and people who really tend to not agree with it or enjoy it, Anthox. Which side do you fall on? Do you look forward to watching them play?
Definitely. And I'm especially looking forward to our casters who will have to cast this and make sense of all of it, because sometimes you just can't make sense of what Helios is doing. So I am super stoked to watch that all unfold.
What do you think, Anne?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a very interesting game, obviously, with the different playstyle. I mean, I love to see players bring out, for example, those off-meta operators like a Glass or a Knock. If you can pull off something great with that, I do love to see those things.
When you look at the teams, we did speak about Nitro, and we obviously spoke about Joe as two players that we should be really looking out for here and keeping an eye on to see how they perform as we go along. Other members of each team that you really want to see step up here, guys?
Akari on VIPERIO side. Yeah. Former Benelux player as well, so it always stands close to my heart. I have something to hold on to. I mean, you guys have the entire UK massive type of thing. There's plenty of UK people and teams out there. For me, I'm looking for those little small bits of hope.
Anne?
Yeah, I have one as well, but it's on the same team. I just want Draw to step up today because I think that last week he might not have had the game of his life. It looked like he was losing some gunfights, which weren't really going that well for him. So I want him to step up. So he's got that positive rating, so he fits in with the team well, and I definitely think they'll have a really good chance then.
Let me just bring up the bracket one more time. I just want to see and talk about the lay of the land because this lower bracket is so difficult. As you can see, Helios versus VIPERIO 86. The winner of this will go on to take on Reply Totem in our second round. And we know what we've seen from Totem, they are an exceptional team. So not only do you want to win this first round lower bracket series, you want to do it well. So you're going into that second round with real momentum because Totem are a very difficult team to play against.
They are definitely, and you know, potentially we might see a kind of a rematch here between Reply Totem and Makers if Makers makes it out of the lower bracket, and pretty much if Reply Totem makes it out of the lower bracket as well, we'll see a lower bracket final between Reply Totem and Makers.
What do you think, Anne?
I think it's just very interesting that we see some teams in that lower bracket already that we did not expect to be here just yet. So that puts pressure on all these teams that just can't be leaving the tournament yet. You didn't expect them to be here. So for them to potentially all drop, there's a lot of pressure on today's games.
This is the thing, isn't it? We love talking about unpredictable. We keep talking about how unpredictable this tournament has been so far. Do you think we're going to continue in that vein? Are you expecting more shocks, gasps, and sweats as we go along here?
You're asking the wrong person. You're asking the person that voted for Ascent, opposed to all of you guys voting for Makers. So I am expecting that. It is the European Challenger League, after all.
We are going to be getting into our first series very shortly. It seems as though there's a bit of a delay in getting into that first game as our players get into the lobby. I cannot wait to get into it. Oh, I've just been told in my ear, just by our amazing Sebastian in his wonderful French accent, that we are in fact ready. So it's time to throw away from the blue desk over to the golden desk to cast our first map of the evening. It is, of course, my brothers from the UK, Demo Next.
Ian, thank you very much indeed. We are ready to get underway with this one. I can't wait to get stuck into this. We had a little bit of a delay getting things underway, but boy, oh boy, we're blessed by this fixture. I know that you, Demo, are particularly looking forward to it, and I think there's probably a lot of people watching at home that are looking forward to your reaction to this game. That was a bit of a talking point a couple of days ago back when we saw Helios play.
No comment.
No comment. There it is. Stony-faced as ever. The social vote, not a lot separating these two teams here. We got Helios. We got VIPERIO. We have got, by the way, some banging maps.
We do. We've got Chalet.
Really, really pleased. We saw that club. We saw Oregon gone straight away. It was like we'd forgotten everything that happened the other day because that was all we got to see. All we got to see was a bit of club and a bit of Oregon. But here and now we get something a bit different.
We do. And Chalet is, I think, a good map for 86. I think they showcased that against Defro. I think Defro themselves, they've shown to be a very, very solid side. Hellraisers couldn't even take a map off them. 86 did. You know, what does that say about 86? I mean, obviously they mentioned it on the desk, 86 versus Defro. It was such a close game, and there were moments where the seesaw almost tipped in favor of 86. It was very, very close, and I think those guys on 86, they should, I don't want to say, you know, you should feel happy about a loss, but you should feel happy of how you performed because they did play very well.
Absolutely. Moving on into the bans, we can see that Helios are playing their favourite game.
Yeah.
The Osa and No Ban. For those of you unaware, Osa is...
I'm finding it really difficult to hold it in.
I can see Demo is visibly shaking at the moment. For anyone that's unaware, Osa is in competitive quarantine. Soon to be removed, I would imagine. With the major coming up in a couple of weeks' time. That's typically around the time of the new season drops, and the previous operator from the previous season is then released into the wild world of competitive Siege. But for now, it is a pointless ban. So Helios still not looking to bring too many strats to the table, it's fair to say, leaving themselves very wide open in terms of operator pick. 86 here starting things off on the defense.
So naturally, the kind of way we have to look at this game, right? We know what Helios is going to do, which is really anything. I think that's the game plan. Helios can come out and do absolutely anything, and I think that's the game plan that 86 need to go by, is that they can do anything. So 86, they've had a good long time to prepare for this game. They have to be ready for everything, expecting everything. Anything it goes right now. It is absolutely free range. We're seeing an Amaru right off the rip. You know, we're going to be seeing a lot of these operators that we never really see that are very niche. All of a sudden, they're going to be staple picks for Helios.
I can already tell this is going to be a somewhat exhausting game to get our heads around, given what we expect now from Helios coming into this and how we know that 86 are going to have to try and adapt.
Yeah,
that is the biggest takeaway here, is that whilst 86 have had a long time to prepare for this game, they've known they were going up against Helios since the first week.
Yeah.
It really doesn't change how difficult it is to prepare against this team.
All of the pressure, in my opinion, is on 86.
Yeah.
All the pressure is. But this could be good for them. If 86 can come out and dictate the pace of the game and kind of dictate how everything's going to go, they should have no issues. You look at how Hellraisers went up against Helios in that bank game. They set out the pace right off the rip.
Yeah.
And they didn't give Helios anything. That's what 86 need to do. Don't try and fight fire with fire. Play it nice and slow and let Helios make these reckless decisions that we know they go for.
Something that could really assist 86 here as well is the mirrors. They've set up some great mirror windows there that are going to give them a lot of information to be able to play off. Obviously, you're going to be dealing, and you're going to know roughly where the attackers are going to try and enter in. It's going to be pressure on Solar, as we can see now. Nade's getting caught up there inside of the ADS. Akari just going to be playing the bottom of Trophy Stairs. Brian ready and waiting to hop into Bathroom as soon as the call comes. Just struggling to find the angle onto the window, stuck onto the ledge there,
that's the thing,
unfortunately for him.
It goes for the ledge, not the window, so that's not really a viable option for them. That's a good opening pick, though. That will slow down Helios. And I'm liking what 86 are doing. We've seen them set up the library with the mirror windows. They're doing a very heavy Solar-sided hold. They're ready for both ways. Any way that Helios want to go, they're ready for it.
Joe's picked himself up 2 kills already inside of the round. One being found out there from Purple. Brian, great crossfire. He's able to get himself onto the window. Nitro, how is he at the bottom of Trophy Stairs? He's catched himself a freebie onto Akari, but immediately Curly in there with the 1-for-1 trade. It is now a 1 versus 1. Brian has to try and move on through. He's got the information here. He's got the scoop. Curly going to remove that mirror window from play. One simple melee hit just to deny a little bit of information even further. No drones available for Brian. 1 minute 10 on the clock, and he does have the diffuser. Curly, going to try and play this fairly passively. He knows that he doesn't need to move too much here. He's got a lot of lines of sight open and available to him. And Brian really has to try and make something happen. Going to go for the plant. Could be a bait, and certainly is, as the swing comes through from Curly, but a couple of shots missed on both sides. A reattempt now at the plant goes down from Brian. Could have looked to try and stick it there, but instead chose to come off. He's still got lots of time to play with, and you can see him now aggressing up for the kill. He's going to be full sprinting for the doorway. Curly, pistol in hand. What is wrong with the main weapon, my friend? Where is it? You need to reload that. The C4 gets thrown out, but it will not come into fruition. Brian still searching out for this kill, but the information is dwindling. Goes for the swing. Curly gets shut down, and Brian is going to lock in this first round here for Helios.
Helios winning that 1v1 at the end. Difficult kind of situation there for the Kite, unfortunately, but all credit. Winning your ones, holding your cool,
Good
all credit
one.
to them. Yeah, very hit or miss, very 50-50. It's one of those. I think everyone's been in that situation, and well, fortunately for Helios, they were the better end of the draw for it, weren't they?
Why did it feel like there was so much on that 1 versus round 1 demo, and it felt like that was a map point? Unbelievable stuff. Already the tension inside of this game, you can feel it. It is tangible. It's got to feel good for Brian. It's going to feel great for Helios. It was a good start from 86. 86 did a really good job of getting a couple of frags there, but the biggest thing that caught them out, rotating players. How many times on Chalet do attackers get kills through those windows? Whatever window it might be, you can pick one and you're going to see some success through it.
You can see Helios, they didn't really take anything, Ollie. You know, they had no breaches open,
control.
no nothing. It looked as if both teams were trying to play really heavy into the refrag. You know, we've seen 86 kind of work in duos together. There's always 2 defenders, you know, arm's length distance away. But equally, I think the attackers were playing that way also. You know, we've seen at least 2 or 3 guys all in the same area ready for those refrags. And both teams just refragging each other just so consistently. And then it comes down to the 1v1, and it's anyone's game from there.
A couple of changes being made here. 86 opting not for the mirror this time.
I like the Frost pick. I think that's going to be strong. If you look at the last round and how Helios played, they jumped in through windows.
Yep.
And something like that can be a decision maker. We know that. We've seen that so many times.
Especially if the Amaru is being brought, which VIPERIO may have thought would be the case, but Helios this time opting for no Amaru in the lineup. Instead, just going to be rocking something a little bit more familiar. We didn't even see the intention for the hard breach either last round from Helios, because Nails got taken out fairly early on into the round. There was no Selmas used up until that point. It was a heavy solar presence with players, again, just walking up those trophy stairs. They were hopping in through the windows, as you say. It was a really good attack in terms of corralling the defenders up and getting them into those kill zones.
Almost lulling them into a kind of you know, kind of like a safe area that you kind of have that self-confidence, like, okay, I'm safe, nobody else is going to come. All of a sudden, bang, there's somebody there. And that kind of comes down to the playstyle that we talked about with Helios. They're going to be everywhere and anywhere, and you don't really know where they're going to show up. First pick will go in favor of Helios, and the breach will also get open. So this is looking pretty basic, pretty default at the moment for them. Monkey is below right now, but realistically, what's the Frost going to be doing down there? Doesn't have the C4, can't really deny anything at the moment. 86 are pushed back pretty deep at the moment. Look at Akari, he's still in the solar stairs, trying, I think, to assist the Frost. Question is, are Helios going to be threatened by the guys below? Are they actually going to go for the hunt, or will they just try and walk into sight, potentially?
Ooh, bold swing and a nade that will not land. Curly in position to try and back draw up here. 86, as you mentioned, they've been forced back and already just defending onto the site, and they have been doing for around the last minute or so. There's been no significant extension aside from Monkey below, and even he is needing to look at making that rotation back up now. Face challenges going on as a smoke canister will be tossed on through to block off line of sight. Draw gets a great kill there onto Nails. That's going to be the diffuser, cold for the time being. Reactivates the Surrogate. Curly and Draw going back to back here, knocking them down one at a time. Brian on the window will be able to find a little bit of success. Opens up Piano somewhat and may allow a little bit of a push here to come through from Robin. The diffuser's still down on the ground, and Monkey is going to be on the flank. A brilliant play there. He's been hanging out inside the kitchen for the entirety of the rounds, dropped the hatch and got himself into a great position to further the advantage here for 86. Brian, he's already clutched once today, but this time he's 1 versus 3. He's got to try and do it again, and he's only got 30 seconds in which to do so. Searches for Monkey and finds something that he didn't want to.
Monkey, we kind of looked at him, we said, okay, he's inside a dining. What can he really do from that position? Not a lot. And I think he realized that. He kind of looked and said, okay, they're not looking to go below. They're not trying to enter in towards Solar like they did last round. They're going very basic. I don't have a C4. I can't do anything. I need to try and get a flank going on. And he did that, you know, down to a T. That's what you expect to see. That classic flank up in through garage, into the lobby and kill a guy on the breach. So yeah, all credit to that flank, worked very, very well. But I think some of the picks that were happening there, we've seen, you know, it was kind of Helios in the lead all the way, and then just 2 kills, swing it back into momentum from 86.
Curly and Draw had a big part to play inside of that round. They defended into Piano really well. And there's maybe a question that we could throw onto Helios here as to where are all these nades going, Demo? They're bringing a good amount of nades. We're not seeing a lot of value at the moment out of those nades. A big focus inside of that round from Helios was to get the breach open. Nails did that and then some. He also got the opening pick onto Joe. As the breach was popping, Joe saw the opportunity and thought, maybe I can go for a little bit of a peek here. I think the bottom of the door was already shot out, and Joe gets taken down as he's in a prone position. So from the off, it was looking good for Helios. They had lines of sight into the objective, they had the opening pick, and things weren't looking too bad at that point. But they just couldn't break Piano. We saw how deep Curly was playing. He was playing behind the little half wall inside of Piano, so not even on the Piano itself. No deployable shield in there, just a couple of ADSs, and a guy that's willing to play things from a little bit deeper. No pressure in from Solar Stairs that side really was a big problem from Helios, because that was their big inside of round 1.
You mentioned nades. Look at the lineup and the defense. Not a single bit of denial for those nades, so you would expect to see Helios catch on to that and try and utilize the grenades. I think grenades has been a big talking point throughout the course of CL. I think there's some teams out there who have been phenomenal, is the word I'd use, with some of the nade kills that we have seen. But Helios at the moment, not really hitting the mark with those at the moment. So again, look at 86 in terms of how they're setting up. They're trying to slow down Helios and just kind of take that time away. Helios, we know, are not the most structured side in this competition. Yeah, it is. It may surprise some of you.
Really, Demo? The team that doesn't ban anybody?
It's true. Trust me on that one, okay? Whenever they're not the most structured, you have to try and take as much as you can away from them. And that is time. It is a lot of time. If Helios, again, are relying on finding these picks, you know, these opening picks out of nowhere, they play safe, you run down the time, Helios are going to get very frantic, and that's whenever we start seeing the reckless Helios side that can be very easily counterplayed.
At the moment, 86 are giving Helios quite a lot to think about. There's a big extension going on here. The site being Baron Gaming. Robin looking to try and push on through. He's going to find himself a freebie onto Monkey. Nails is inside of the site, and the diffuser is going to start going down momentarily. Draw in position to try and retake, but needs to move on through. Going to traverse the library stairs. The plant is going to go down without a hitch as Robin continues to chalk kills up from inside of the site. Couple of missed shots there. Unfortunate stuff from Draw, but Curly also falls. Akari. Big play now to be made. Picks the first out of many required, as the plant is already down here. And he's only got the Roni. 16 bullets. Not a lot when you're looking at taking on 4 opponents, especially when angles are being held against you here. Purple, brilliant crossfire. Brian in with the swing. The information was available there for Helios. Easy as you like. Seeing an opportunity and taking it. Something that you can't afford to give Helios the option to do.
Yeah, again, 86 going for that heavy roam game, looking to stop the initial kind of takes in towards that solar side. That it's an area that we know Helios, they like to go for. But you leave one fatal mistake, and that is nobody really guarding the bar corridor. Nobody is there to assist your Mira. Mira's the only person on site in that scenario. I think Helios did well at targeting that Mira window. We've seen the ace charges go in. It eliminates that kind of safety feature that the Mira has. And from there, she's left kind of blind, no information, and very, very open to what Robin did. And that was just walk in the site, get that kill. And you can see the reaction from Helios. As soon as they see Robin in a good position, they all jump at the opportunity.
Let's see how this goes for a second time. 86, they cannot afford to give those same opportunities away. Wasn't even much of a take either, demo. As you mentioned, it was literally as simple as you like.
Yep.
Walk into site. There was a lot of lines of sight open for back storage, which is a big, big vulnerability, especially if you're going to commit a player in there. You do need to start thinking about having that a little bit more locked off and maybe 1 or 2 angles that you're going to be trying to work with and not leave it just so wide open. VIPERIO still not shying away from this full map extension. We can see it, Akari, trophy stairs, draw, switching in between bathroom and piano, Curly upstairs as well. So again, a big off-site presence. If Helios just read into that and just say, yep, you know what, we're just going to push on into the site yet again. There's always a possibility.
So we're going to go for the same defense again now for 86. Not making any changes to their lineup. Again, that mirror window kind of being used as that last defense if anything does go wrong. I think you can kind of see the different way that they're playing it now. They're dropped back a little bit more. They're more closer to the site, so something that Robin did, it doesn't happen again to them. But they're still not giving up Solar too easily. There's still some people lurking around that side of the map, but they just have that extra protection. They have that extra man draw. He's a player that we kind of looked at and said, we need to see a big performance out of him today. We didn't really get to see the full draw that we know that we can see. Then maybe this could be his day.
He's getting pressured now, but he's already been able to find some early success. Might not be out for the count just yet, though. Brian, he's going to take down Akari. He's going to move on through and aggressively just take on to Fireplace there. Nothing said about it. Draw finds another before inevitably being removed. Down but not out, but he isn't going to have anything left to say in this round. Sent to the cameras. 3 versus 2 as Purple looks to make his way down library. Robin still upstairs, diffuser in hand. Plenty of time remaining here for Helios to start ripping open some of this floor and expose the defenders inside of sight. Monkey and Curly got a long way to hold on here, but as angles get open, it's opportunity for them to work on the reverse. Looks as though there could be a lack of information here. There's not a bulletproof. There's no real information available. Robin hits the drop, looks to try and push on through. Kelly been able to take down Brian. Helios, you can't afford to be giving these as 1 versus 1s. You had the advantage, and now you've got to really beachhead your way in through sight. Monkey's been able to take out Purple. How is this happening, Demo? The VIPERIO defense, it is standing tall. Robin, he goes for a desperate swing in, but a crossfire is going to be there. Curly sits him down in the dirt.
He talked about maybe information lacking from 86. That mirror window was vital for them in that the penultimate kill in that round, where we've seen the information get fed to the Mira, who was then able to win that engagement of the Ashe in the corridor, and that's just from a little glimpse from that. So yeah, information Mira window can still be used as that information. Like I mentioned, it's kind of being used as that last defense, that last line, and it came in clutch there for them.
The fact that that is still available is a problem. You look at the lineup that we're bringing for Helios, we didn't see any good nades, we didn't see... I don't think we saw the Ashe breaching rounds
Have we seen a nade kill yet?
We've not seen a nade kill. We've seen a few nades thrown, but you worry about the quality of the information that is, you know, being relied on to grab those kills. VIPERIO, really good adaptation there in that round. They've gone back to a side they've already lost, and they've already turned the switch.
Fingers for E6, they know that they're on the tough opening half as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes, you know, that's a good debate. Oh, do you want to start an easier side and try and, you know, really rattle up the rounds and try and give yourself some confidence? Or do you want to start off, you know, a little bit slow, a little bit sluggish, and then really hit your stride in the tougher round? It's a big debate. Right now, E6 are doing good. 2-2 right now with potential of getting a free split, which would be amazing for them in terms of Shally and how attacker-sided it is. And... I mean, the fact that A6 are opting here now, because they know they're on the defense, they just have to just play nice and slow, you know, and that consistency that they're currently doing. I don't think they've been giving Helios a lot. I think, you know, whenever we looked at the Villa game between Helios and Hellraisers, Hellraisers were really getting slowed down, and it was almost as if Helios were running away. They set the tempo, and I think, what was it, a 5-1 split on Villa? This is quite the opposite from 86. They're slowing down the momentum. They're making sure Helios don't run away with the game.
Do you see a nade sent out there, but Draw is going to be able to push on through aggressively. Great heads-up play there. Takes Brian down with him. Another nade. Finds himself a second onto Nitro. Draw. How did he get away with this? He's going to hit the hatch and drop down into connector. He can make a safe rotation now up the bottom of West Main stairs. Nobody going to be in position to catch him out.
Brilliant stuff from Draw. Sets up inside the library. Lack of droning, I would say, more than anything from Helios, which is sloppy, but this is what we see from them. They want to go for these reckless ideas, and it doesn't work for them. Draw did so well. I'm sure many people would have probably seen Draw in that position, and maybe the Aruni would have lingered and stayed upstairs still. Straight away, gets that kill, tries to get out of there, because they kind of respect and they know how good Helios are on the refrag. He was stuck in no man's land, very difficult position to get out of in lobby, and he still takes that gunfight and still wins it.
Helios putting a bit of attention toward the breach here, but they're going to have a hard time finding that. Electroclaw is going to be placed on top of the cabinet. Curly with the wallbang onto Purple as players do start to stack up just outside of Piano there. Nails going to find the first kill on the round. Robin the second as things slowly but surely start to level up. Nails has been downed in progress though. Robin remains the last hope. 1 health, and the pistol would do the job, but Draw does lose the engagement. The diffuser's going to be outside, free and ready to pick up. Nade's going to come on through now. Only will remove the barricade, though. Robin can look to try and revive his teammate and at least make this a fair 2 versus 2. And there's a lot of time remaining to try and execute onto this. But look at the HP available here for Helios. Not a lot at all. And with a diffuser that still needs recovering and a plan that needs to be generated, Helios are running out of time.
I'm not entirely sure if I'm too confident in Helios in terms of the positioning, because you look at where Robin's going. There's going to be an Aruni gate on that double doorway leading into Piano. He can't get through that unless he goes for this Gemini clone, which he is actually going to go for. It does slow them down just a little bit, and again for 86, with this wall being closed, they just kind of have to sit and hold angles and just wait for Helios to walk into them.
Monkey going to find one onto Robin. Akari, he's going to be in position to pick the second. Great little bait and switch there from Akari. He will have had the sound cue that those players have moved on through. They've passed the Aruni gate and they've got themselves into Piano. And at that point, it is just a waiting game. 86, what patience you are displaying right here and now. Another round where they have an advantage. Another round where they don't force it. They're not looking to rush this game, Demo.
No. And that's the correct mentality that they need whenever you're going up against the beast that is Helios. Yeah, I think Helios, you can see that they just went in, again, very blind with the drone work. I think that needs to be improved, definitely. You know,
the cracks are starting to show.
You know, what Draw got away with was daylight robbery. He should never be allowed, you know, to first of all just get that easy pick and somebody jumping into library, but then for there not be a refrag knowing that, oh, he's not in the fireplace, he can only go one way, which is down.
Well, we look at how other teams have approached a similar position. You think about Tyrant playing in that position. He had a nightmare. He was getting forced left, right, and centre. And it's possible as an attacker to be able to generate a good crossfire there. Get somebody onto new balcony, get somebody onto the window. You're going to be able to take them out as they hop down. Get somebody onto main door. I mean, there was someone on main door and they got sat down, to be fair. You can't always rely on winning the gunfight like that, but maybe a little bit of timing, a little bit of sluggishness getting into position to be able to get the refrag. And Helios certainly paying for it right now.
Another interesting point about 86 is look at who is currently bottom of the leaderboard for them. It's Joe.
Don't do him like
No,
that.
I'm not trying to use it as a negative term, but that's the guy who we seen pop off the last week.
Danger.
Everyone else is stepping up massively.
That's danger right there. This is the best of 3.
Yeah, and we know Joe, he can flick. You know, he's like a light switch. All of a sudden, bang, he can get an ace.
Well, he won't get an ace in this round. First kill has already been found, and spoiler alert, it wasn't Joe. Robin, out for the count. A lot of information gone, and with it, a couple of nades. Purple, just looking through main doors. Going to be a laser gate on there, so again, a very extended hold from 86. Not afraid to really flex and give a lot of problems for Helios to work with. I think that 86 are getting the rub of the green at the moment, that Helios aren't as coordinated as maybe what they were expecting coming into this, and it's allowing them a lot more freedom in the way that they're trying to play. So much so, they're feeling so free, Demo. They're going to go to the 3rd site choice, 4th site choice, maybe, as we rarely see the basement at all. But in this round, it is going to be played.
We've seen Eminem go for the basement whenever they played Chalet.
We did.
It ended horrifically. I think that's probably the term to use. Helios, look what they're on for, Ollie. It looks to be a quick rush down the lobby stairs. You would expect 86 with how they've been playing. They've set up appropriately for really anything that Helios has thrown at them. Well, apart from that one bar round, really. But other than that, I think they've been in pretty good shape. But right now, I'm not seeing many crossfires be established.
Nails could really do what he likes here. He could make his way down to the bottom of the stairs and maybe start thinking about getting the plant. You can see players are starting to flood back into sight here for VIPERIO. Joe with a great rotation there. Immediately traded out, but it will be a 1-for-1. Finds himself to draw the next player to fall. There's a lot of pressure on the remaining 3, but they do have a man count advantage. Players stacked up here inside of blue. So Curly and Akari are going to probably take turns trying to swing onto this doorway. Argus cameras being sent out in an attempt to gather as much information as possible, and Helios still concerned about the flank here. Desperately trying to get any information that they can, looking to make the most out of the remaining utility. The diffuser is going to be cold at the bottom of the stairs. We're in a bit of a tricky situation and does need to be recovered here. Nitro could look to try and push himself down. Looks to be just waiting for the call as Brian is hitting things from the backside, but he will be greeted straight away. There's going to be Monkey holding the angle, but he's holding onto the hatch, then he's not holding onto the doorway. There is so much here for Brian to check. He's just going to go straight through the surrogate. Monkey, you've got to try and make the play, but Curly is there as backup, takes Brian down. Nitro left inside of the clutch, and we've seen him clutch before, but this is not one of those times. Akari there to shut him down.
Yeah.
So we get a 4-2 split here for Helios.
It was looking a little bit sketchy for 86. There wasn't too many bodies kind of be established. But all credit to 86. As soon as they knew something was up, as soon as they noticed that nobody was going big garage, nobody was interested in blue, all the pressure came in from those lobby stairs and the main breach. The rotations back to site, they got there as quick as they could. They stopped, they set up the crossfires. Joe did fantastic to get, not even just, get a kill is great, but that second trade also really kills the momentum at that stage for Helios. And again, Helios, it just seems a little bit more just reckless. You're literally playing off nothing. All you have is a bit of the breach open, and you've got the lobby stairs, and that's it. That's all you're trying to play off.
Where's the info? Where's the nades?
Where's the soft destruction? I mean, lobby is free real estate for them, and that is all destructible. And you're bringing the sledge constantly. Why are we not seeing that be utilized?
You'd have had a great time. Well, we see the turn of the half. We see Nails stacking up Calcan onto a very specific doorway downstairs. Obviously hoping to catch 86 out straight off the rip. Dish a little bit of damage out there. A good split for VIPERIO on the defense. That much really has to be said. They've taken a lot of the pressure off here, and I think Helios must be feeling it. You look at the lineup that they're going for, very trap orientated. We've got the Frost, we've got the Capcan. These guys are looking for little freebies here and there, little cheap
bit of damage,
picks, little bit of damage, a little bit of slowing down. Ultimately, is it going to be enough here? There's got to be a lot more that goes into your strat. especially if Brian's getting himself taken out straight away. These opening kills have been cruel and punishing for Helios, regularly finding themselves on the wrong end of them.
Like you said, Ollie, 86, they look as if they're out of the comfort zone. They're trying these kind of cheap tactics. There's nothing cheaper than the spawn peak. And that's, you know, everyone knows that. Whenever you're going for a spawn peak, you know you're desperate in many instances. Or, you know, you might be sitting 6-1 up and you think, oh, well, what do we lose from it? You know, it's that. But right now, Helios are in the losing seat. They should not be having to be desperate already. It's their first defensive round.
Yeah, already trying to cheap one back.
And like we know with 86, the kind of play style from them, it has been a different 86. You can see the pace, it's been slowed down. They're really working in unison. They're not trying to give any freebies away to them.
Joe's going to find himself a great kill there onto Robin. Robin just trying to swing onto him there as he knew that Joe was going to be there inside of office. Great kill in return as draw will fall. Just gets a little bit zealous on the window. Purple in position to shut him down. Joe's still got an option here to push on through a little bit further. Can remove a lot of the mute jammers and free things up for a bit of drone work here. Yeah,
you can see that they're checking for the Capcan traps. You know, they're ready for it. I think they have good information. You know, the Twitch can be great for eliminating some of those traps. Obviously, the Argus cameras that you get from Zero as well can also be used to destroy some Capcans, anything that you need to get rid of. And it's just a general good operator at the moment. Zero has really taken shape as a strong operator. How has that been misdroned? I do not know, because that's the area they droned and they missed that.
I mean, Joe's been playing in and around there for quite some time now. He's obviously missed it. Knows that there's going to be a bulletproof to deal with at the end of the corridor. Quite a nice placement on that. You don't always see bulletproofs used there. Typically, they're a little bit lower down on the library stairs. But it's going to at least gather a bit of info for now, requiring a bit of a burn on the ADS. The nade comes through. Is it going to get a twofer? Yes, it is. Second nade thrown in for good measure. VIPERIO not taking any chances here with that utility. They really want to force Nitro down these library stairs, but I don't think there's anybody to catch him out if he does make that rotation. Purple is still going to be playing on Fireplace as Monkey drops. Looking maybe to get an angle from that main door, but will instead be shut down. That's exactly what he's going for. Finds himself a second. Joe went in there for the trade. It was a great play, but Purple has just outdone everybody. Curly drags one back, making it a 2 versus 2 with 30 seconds left. He can now hold on to the bottom of that Fireplace. Does put a couple of shots in, but Purple retreats on into sight. Akari there, getting himself into an engagement, but will lose it out. We all know how good Nitro is on the Frost, and he's kicking off here in round number 7 straight away. Curly, he's got two kills to find and only 10 seconds to do it in. The shots are further going to be exchanged. His location known. Anybody could have shut him down, but it will be Purple. What a round from him, Demo.
Yeah, individual brilliance from him, just playing up in towards Fireplace. Nobody was trying to check him, really. It looks as if they were more concerned about the man on the blue stairs rather than the player on Fireplace, surprisingly. He did hit some great shots. You look at the one he hit onto Draw in the kind of early stage of that round. The one onto the man in the lobby door, you know, that's just kind of, I think, reactions and just, you know, kind of common sense. Okay, I'm going to go for the pre-fire. He's always going to be on that kind of side of the door. So, yeah, Purple just kind of dragged his team through the mud there because it wasn't looking good for stages. They lost the opening pick to a spawn kill. Joe did well at getting a good foothold for his team very early on inside of Office.
Let's see how 86 bounce back from that one. Could be a nice little bit of momentum here for Helios as well. Round on the board, and one that they desperately needed. I think if this had gone 5-2, it would have really started to look pretty rough. No surprise to see Helios running the same vein of lineup.
Yeah, that Frost again. We know Nitro loves a good Frost pick.
Loves it. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Frost ban here, honestly. Next map, maybe. Coastline. Chuck the Frost ban in there. Disable Nitro.
Potentially.
He's a menace, especially whenever we see him get into that clutch situation.
I mean, on the topic of bans, I think whenever you're going against Helios, you almost need to ban like a certain operator who you know is going to be strongest, because you know Helios ain't banning nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because usually if, you know, you're playing like Clubhouse, for example, 9 times out of 10 there's like not like a mutual agreement, but it's just everyone knows, okay, if we ban Thatcher, you ban Maverick, or we ban Habana, you ban Thatcher. It's always, you know, a little nod. But Helios, they're not playing like that.
They're really not. Joe, he's going to look to try and enter in
Oh dear.
Through trench. How much info has he got here? He's just holding for the time being. Brian's had the sound cue and he knows exactly what is coming. Joe,
You seen him?
please tell me you saw him. The nice little bit of bait there on the drone. Joe did get the indication, and he's going to go straight for the swing, looking to just try and out-juke and outgun Brian here. Robin immediately in there with the trade. Great play from Helios. You could see previous round demo, they set up some EE1Ds down there. They know that that's where Joe likes to try and enter in from, and they've really tried to capitalize on it. Akari is in there with the refrag, but a lot of damage still done.
Yeah, Carries did very well to at least get a kill back for his side. And yes, Brian still lives, but look at his HP. That's not too favorable in the upcoming engagements, I'm sure, for him. So Brian and also Purple are going to be doubled up together. There's Nitro for kill onto draw, so it will be in favor of Helios inside of this round. And well, 86, they've kind of went for this solar kitchen take right now. Akari does have 2 nades. He could try and utilize the vertical destruction that was something that Helios had no intention of doing for some of their attacks. And I wonder maybe if 86 can show us how the nade game can be done.
Quite possibly. I mean, we've got Curly underneath with the Argus cameras. That can provide the information required. Joe or Draw could be sitting on the cameras, so it really could just be a matter of time here and a matter of setup. One nade is going to get sent on through. Zakari looks to cook a second and maybe think better of it. Nitro keeps himself alive up there. He knows that the pressure's going to be coming in up those solar stairs, and as such, Toxic Babe canisters already being used by Nails to try and cut off anybody from making that rotation. Great nade there. A little bit fortunate on the timing, I think it's fair to say, but Akari has made it work, and it is something that we do love to see. So with Nails being removed, the smoke's now out of the equation.
Brian, I wonder if he's going to be unchecked. He's just in the corner off the bathtub, and bit of a position you wouldn't really like to play in, because once you're stuck, you are stuck. But because of that, 86 might not be expecting that off-angle position. Nitro's doing so well, just holding on to that window and knows exactly what he needs to do and just deny the access. Banner Pellets will go in and try and open up this wall, which does put a little bit more pressure onto Nitro. Purple finds that kill into Curly. He was lurking over towards piano windows. Nitro did see a bit of a vision of the sledge and tries the swing, takes some damage, but with 20 seconds to go, this is not looking good for 86.
Not at all, especially with the one-dimensional push that they've got going for them. Somehow both players have managed to get inside a Solarium, but it's surely only a matter of time before they get cut down. Purple finds one onto Monkey, and the second will be found by Brian. Helios not really being given too much to worry about their demo. One angle and one angle only.
Yeah, whenever you're down a man, whenever you don't have the man advantage, solar attacks can be so difficult. As I think was shown, there's not a lot of ways there's not a lot of like good crossfires you can establish apart from double window, but even still, double window is quite a risky position to go for.
But you think about double window, think about where Joe enters in. We know he likes to enter in through trench.
He wants to get the nades in,
He wants to get some nades in, but then where does he go? He goes on to the double window, and that was something that was really lacking. It allowed players from Helios just to rotate freely to bolster the troops over on that side to deal with the solar-sided take. Helios, they've leveled things up here. Maybe a no-ban is the way to make Chalet a neutral map that maybe swings a little bit defender.
Maybe. But then again, what attacker would be banned out in this scenario? I mean, realistically, it's always going to be Factor, and everything else is kind of up for grabs.
You just do whatever you like,
usually.
Don't you?
Yeah.
You just do whatever you like.
In terms of defense, I mean, Wamai is a very strong operator at the moment. As we know, some changes to his gadget. He now gets more Wamai discs, so that's even more projectiles that you can eat up, which is always, as we know, going to be a strong ability to really limit grenade usage. You think even Capitao bolts as well. I think Capitao, big shout for him in the meta with the double hard breach gadget he now has. So, yeah, big shout for Wamai in terms of him actually being played in some games. We now move over to our kitchen bomb site. Mira being brought in, strong operator, as we know, can deny access to a lot of those corridors and just kind of scare away some of the attackers into other positions and almost kind of choke point them and flood them into certain areas that you can really stack up with the traps that we know Helios likes to go for, and just these crossfires.
Joe might be looking for a little bit of early aggression.
It's a classic.
He's going to gather quite a bit of information as he goes. How bold does he want to be on that doorway, on that barricade? He's going to be able to search out for the Frost. The game is up now. However, gets a couple of good shots in. It was a brilliant bait there on the drone by Joe, but it just hasn't resulted in the kill.
No, it hasn't. It has put some pressure, though, onto Nitro, because he now knows somebody's going to be knocking at his office door. Everyone else from 86 looking for this solar take. Quite a bit of utility upstairs also. You can see this deployable shield almost acting like a mirror window in many circumstances, Ollie, to try and deny access to Solar. There's going to be a trade. It's going to be Joe onto Nitro, but Robin is there with a refrag. Robin, big performer for Helios last week, and now he's proven to be very valuable once again.
Curly's still going to hold on to the bottom of Trophy as the Surrogate does get reactivated. That gives him the heads up that someone's in the vicinity. Angle's now being held. Helios doing a great job of not moving here, and they're not being given reason to. Now the nades start to come in, and it could start to disrupt things somewhat. Akari, he goes for the hop-in, gets himself into Solar, but Robin is there ready and waiting. Can he land his shots? Gets the down, finishes with the pistol. It's not clean, but it works. Brian backs him up with the kill on to draw as well, as he can now make a rotation into Piano. Nobody really in position here on the side of 86 to apply any significant pressure. We've got somebody on the big window repel, but it hasn't resulted in anything. And Monkey, he's just hanging around at the bottom of Trophy window. Another attack that slowly but surely is just falling apart.
Yeah, it's going from bad to worse right now for 86. They look as if they're starting well, getting in good positions to apply pressure, but the refrag game right now for Helios is very, very strong. This kind of trio of Brian, Purple, and Robin has caused a lot of mayhem for 86. You can see Helios not wanting to give 86 any sense of momentum, not giving them anything, just starving them of information. Oh, they will get, actually, I think that's going to be upstairs, he's going to get shot. Oh, from below, actually, which then forces out the angle using the drone hole. Wow, nice.
Good play there, but you've not really got time to be setting up those extravagant kills with only 25 seconds left and 3 kills to find. There's a lot of work yet to do here for 86 if they're going to try and salvage this round. Monkey takes a chunk load of damage as he tries to hop himself on in. Curly at the bottom of West Main. He's going to have a line of sight. He gets a glimpse, but he isn't able to land the finishing blow. He does find the kill, but eventually will be traded. Robin, what a round from him yet again, Demo. We highlighted him a little bit on the attack. A little bit hit, a little bit missed, a couple of big rounds here and there, but so far on the defense, he's really stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, the defense working wonders for Helios, and 86 haven't won a round on the attack so far. This is not looking good for 86. Momentum has definitely shifted over towards Helios, it feels like, Ollie. And I don't know what 86 can do to respond. It looks as if whenever they lose, you know, they do well like that to kind of get that opening kill. And as soon as they start getting refragged and all of a sudden the man count is down on them, they just look as if they stop and they stall out, and then the time kind of runs away from them. You know, you look at that kill that they did. They set up that great little piece going below, then using the drone hole to get the kill. You know, that's great from 86. But that should have been done, you know, maybe 30 seconds before it happened.
Helios are playing in a particular way at the moment, and it's throwing me back to an interview that I did with Cameraman for FaZe a couple of months ago. And he was saying sometimes the best thing to do on defense is just to unplug your mouse and keyboard. Or unplug the keyboard, so you can't move. And with the way that we've seen Helios stubborn in their movements, how many times have we had a Z ping on somebody for multiple seconds? I'm talking like 10, 15, 20 seconds people are on Z ping, and there's nothing that VIPERIO are able to do about it. Helios aren't moving, and that is giving such a big problem for VIPERIO. And it's a big problem on this map in general, because defenders, if you move on this map, you're going to get caught out. There is going to be a crossfire from wherever you're transitioning A to B. That's something that Helios aren't getting wrapped up in at the moment. It isn't somewhere that they're struggling. They're doing a really good job of holding on to these power positions and just saying, look, you want me out of it? You've got to come and face check the angle. You've got to directly pressure me. And so far, 86, they've not found an answer for how to deal with that.
Opening pick for Helios onto Joe. Massive opening kill for Nay. Hasn't had the best of games, but that is a well-needed opening kill to set them up nicely now for the remainder of this round. Brian, okay, I'm just proning, maybe trying to surprise some of these 86 members if he does get misdroned. And I wonder if Akari will drone or not. Will he be checked? That's a good question. Goes off the drone at potentially a disastrous moment right now, Ollie, and I don't think that they know that Robin is here.
Could be a little bit of a problem here, and yes, it will be.
Brian.
No,
Brian, yeah.
He's playing the long game. He finds one, hits the hatch drop, and he is out of there. No opportunity for a refrag. Say again, Curly, he's in position. He's actually inside of the kitchen already and waiting. Will find the player on the drop, but again, it's a kill that didn't need to happen. Sloppy drone work.
Not good from 86. Something that was, it looked as if, you know, he's going to drone the bedroom and he just gets off it just at the wrong moment. Just gives that freebie away to Brian. And they still have to deal with Robin up in Library. You know, that's a player who we've seen dominate from this bomb site the last time. And this is not looking good for A6 once again. It looks as if they're kind of clutching at straws almost. Ollie trying anything they can to find these picks. But like you said, it just looks as if Helios are standing still. Musical statues. Nobody giving anything away to 86.
They've not got the extra man to put onto Library, and someone that they've still not dealt with is Purple. Last time that we saw Helios defend this site, Purple had a huge part to play in how that round went. He dominated the top of that fireplace. It's a great kill from Curly, but it isn't going to mean all too much, as Purple is in position immediately with the refrag. Monkey's gone on quite the extravagant rotation here, looking to get himself in up the bottom of Library stairs. Hits the E1D, but is it going to be enough? He's 1 versus 3, he's got 45 seconds to play with, and I doubt that he's got too much information. Let's be honest, it looks as though Helios know exactly where he is. Impacts and everything getting thrown at him at the moment, trying to disrupt him. What can he do here, Demo, apart from hold the angle and really hope for the best? It really isn't going to end very well at all. Grabs one onto Nitro. Maybe isn't going to be able to get into position to finish. Going to hit the reload likely for the last time. Knows that he's likely going to start to be swung, as Purple will be in position to take him on out. Helios, they did go a little bit one at a time there. There was a very, very slim chance that Monkey starts to hit a few shots, but this game has been theirs ever since they got on the defense.
It has been. 86 just can't attack. Just cannot attack. Look at that last round. They lost the opening kill and just went, again, from bad to worse for 86. I just feel as if they lost the momentum. They started losing a few rounds, and now they are getting, again, desperate in many instances.
We've not seen a successful entry, really, have we? For 86. They're really struggling on that entry. The drone work on both sides has been pretty sloppy. We've seen a bit of miss droning coming out from Helios, so maybe is it miss, or is it lack of droning from Helios? But they managed to overcome it. Whereas 86, they're going out there, they're sending the drones, but sometimes they're just not being as thorough as they need. And let's be honest, Demo, 86, I'm going to coin this phrase and you're going to laugh, they're a bathtub team. You have to drone the bathtub. You have to drone the back of the bed. You have to drone every single inch of the map, because they're going to sit in there. Brian hit it with the lol after he got killed on the train. He's watched the player move on through. Akari, he's there, he's back to him, and Brian's like, how many can I get here?
Yeah.
Nobody knows I'm here. I could walk up to him and knife him if I had the balls to.
Yep.
But no, I'm just going to guarantee the kill, drop the hatch. He got taken out, but the damage again, it had already been done. Lost your nades, lost your soft breach.
You have to check. You have to check for this team. Whenever we know they are a side that just do anything they want, they don't care. They will do anything they want. You have to check everything. We mentioned 86 in the defense. They looked as if they were ready for most things that Helios threw at them. They did well. Why is that same philosophy not being applied to their attacks? Remember, as defenders, you set up first. You're the one who kind of takes control. It's the attackers who have to assess and see what they want to go for.
There is still time for VIPERIO to assess. There is time for them to get themselves back into this, but map 1 point is looming for Helios. Taking us on to our second map of Coastline. Are we seeing a different approach here? It's already a little bit slower. We've nearly seen a minute and we haven't seen an opening kill. That's pretty big. Joe isn't trying to one-man army his way in off the back of his own drone. Instead, we've got him using some nades inside a library. Monkey going to be holding on to the cross. He doesn't know that someone's just crossed directly on that doorway either. Purple is going to be at the bottom of main. The ping is coming out now. We did see the yellow ping. Purple, he's actually going to go for it. What is he thinking? He's already seen the door get shot.
I think that he thought that Monkey was just zoned into Nitro, and this is much better from 86. They're taking their time. Brian again has done so well with these refrags. He's been able to get one onto Joe. However, has been scared away down to the bottom floor now. So 86, they went for the clear out. They've done very well at taking control of Library. Half the round to go. They have to get this wall open. They do have the hard breach gadget from the zero, so they can still open the wall and actually formulate an attack. Again, now we're kind of on the cusp of Helios, and we know what they can do in clutch moments.
We really do. We just got to look at the games that Brian and Robin have had up until this point to know that that is still a possibility. A one-man advantage is not necessarily enough on its own here. 86 have to try and execute onto that. Curly going to hop himself in. Can use the secondary gadget to get that wall open. Is still concerned There does seem to be a lack of information. There's not very many drones remaining either on the side of 86. They've only got 3 drones for this final minute. You imagine one of those is at least on a flank. You haven't got the opportunity to gather the active.
Nay has a pocket bulletproof. Don't know if you've noticed that there, Ollie, but that is something that really should be placed down. Again, Brian, this reckless aggression has not worked for Helios right now, and that's a good swing from Akari. Robin gets the refrag, and Nade will be tossed right beside him, takes a lot of damage, and there goes the refrag in from 86. They stay alive. That's their first attack.
Where have this attacking team been, Demo? Where have they been? They made that look so easy in the opening half of that round. They got themselves a really good advantage, and it was just tick-list stuff from there on out. They didn't rush it. They weren't looking to try and force anything. We didn't see anybody trying to enter on in and gain a big advantage straight off the rip. Much more reserved, much more repeatable, and that is exactly what 86 need here. They've got to do that again to take us to an overtime.
Bedroom again for Helios. Obviously the bar, which is usually their kind of go-to, it seems to be. 86 have really struggled with attacking that bar defense. It's still locked out for them. They could have tried kitchen and dining, which again did work for them. It was, I would say, a little bit closer of a round for them, but still they won it nonetheless. But instead they decided to go for the upstairs once again. I mean, I think 86, we've seen them try these solar takes. Didn't work for them. Now we've seen them try the library. It's worked. I think they have something that works now, and they're probably going to try and go for library take. But I expect Helios to not give it to them that easily. I think Helios will go all in now, trying to defend that library. They'll set up the crossfires again. I think those blue stairs has been, you know, a big access point for the roamers. They've roamed very, very well, being able to hit 86 where they're not expecting it. A lot of pressure, I think, comes down onto the man in the lobby door, because he plays a big part. He's the one who has to cut off anyone trying to leave the fireplace. If anyone's looking to maybe lurk and sneak up the fireplace stairs, that's on him. And of course, we've seen Monkey in that position last time. We've seen him on that door. And, you know, I think you could put Monkey or Curly there. Either two of them could just sit and hold the flanks.
It's certainly an area that Helios are putting quite a lot of manpower into at the moment. Got Robin playing below. We've got a couple of goo mines there getting thrown out. Just a nice little early warning system.
They think Joe's going to come in from below again.
Well, that's his trademark, isn't it? That's where Joe typically ends on him, but he's not been successful at all. Last round we saw him coming through library, this exact window, and it was much better.
Yep, Nitro, again, not going to give library up as easily as what it was last time. Triple ADS is stacked up right on his feet. Also a mute jammer to try and help him just a little bit. But looking at it, nobody's really in a good position to refrag him. Right now, 86 could really push in, take the trades, and just get this man out of this position. It is an important one, as we know. It's just going to slow them down. But I think 86 will still have a suspicion where he's going to be played. There's a nade gets tossed in. Nade takes a bit of damage, and again, 86, this is good drone work. They're just taking their time again.
It's a great bait that's being set up here by 86. Joe's going to be watching through onto that cross, and he's just waiting for any opportunity that he might get. He's eventually pushed himself on through a little bit more aggressively, going to be laid prone behind the box, and now getting himself into one heck of an engagement. Nitro doesn't want to challenge onto this. He knows that Akari's still in the window. The nade is going to get sent through, but the ADS eats it on up. A second one. You could do this all day. Eventually, they will be able to force him out and chunk him down significantly. He's now going to take the angle. A great little setup there from 86. Will be traded as Robin flies on through and levels this up 3-3.
Akari, I think he should have had that refrag. Very reckless again from Robin, knowing that he needs to make a play to try and get that man advantage, at least level, which it is at the moment. We've seen Purple try and flank up the lobby stairs. Again, that man in the lobby door, I think, might have been off his balcony window. I don't know where the kill came from, but that man trying to flank was dealt with. They still have the hard breacher, which I think is important for 86. They've done the hard job. They've cleared out these roamers, and now they do have a kind of footing right now. However, one issue. Kai had been brought in. It's going to be on the wall. It's not going to be successful getting him these cameras to try and zap away the claw, because there's a man playing right inside of office. A Gone 6 will make up just a little bit of a hole, trying to spot it out, and he will successfully get the electro claw, and that gives them the breach. Curly will open it up. And how well will 86 perform under not a lot of time? Ollie, not a lot of time for them.
C4 will be sent on out of the breach. Isn't going to deal any damage though. Bit of last second drone work coming through. He's going to call Brian as inside of Piano. Monkey getting ready to toss the nades on through. Of course, with all the ADSs being used elsewhere, you know that you've got free reign inside of the site to try and send out some nades. Akari gets a great pick there over onto Robin, but there is still going to be a player inside of Piano. Brian, he knows that he's getting pushed from the window, but Akari is making up for missing that refrag earlier as he's picked up his second here. Nails from below is going to be there with the C4. It's going to land, but it's too late. The plant has already gone down. Now, 86 know roughly where this player is going to be rotating to and from. Akari, you're looking the wrong way. What are you doing, my friend? He gives it away for free. He's conscious about the plant, but he needs to be conscious about the flank. Nails, he's in position now to try and clutch this one out, but Monkey grabs it there. The skin of his teeth. 86, what are you doing to us? It's only map 1 already. We're going to an overtime.
I don't think they knew that the C4 was dealt from below. I don't think they knew that information. Look at how both of them were set up. They were expecting him to still be in the bomb site. So a little bit of lack of miscommunication there from 86, and yeah, not a flank cam in the blue stairs, which again is also pretty questionable from them, but like you said, Ollie, just by the skin of their teeth. Akari played so well. He was in that power position.
He played so well until he just turned his back to the one area.
Yeah.
The one area you ought to be watching.
I mean, Akari in that position, if he had died, all of that would have went kaput.
All of it. It would have been bad.
On that piano, all he needs to do is shut down the cross. Yeah, but all credit, I think, to 86, just holding their nerve. Again, Monkey in that scenario wins that 1v1, and they've pulled back. They have pulled it back, so we are 6-6 overtime. A defensive chalet. Defensive chalet, really?
Who'd have thought it?
Not me.
Not me. Helios kicking things off on the defense. Maybe a good opportunity for VIPERIO to carry through some of that momentum. They were a slow burner on attack demo. Took them a while to get going. But finally, they seem to have found the stride. So, technically, from here on out, it should just be as simple as line up the rounds and VIPERIO will tick them off one at a time, but we all know it's not going to be that easy. There's a large portion of the work yet to be done. Helios going to be kicking things off downstairs, barring games. It's been a site that we've seen 86 really struggle on.
Yeah, agreed. Not been a good site for them. They've kind of went pretty basic. I mean, from all core, just pushing in towards office, trying to stage, you know, that kind of main breach that opens up in towards blue. But it just hasn't worked for them. I wonder if they're going to change things up, because whenever they go for this attack, they don't really apply any pressure in towards library, which has been, you know, a big rotation point for Helios. We've seen players just kind of sit there knowing that nobody's going to go in the library windows. They have a good bit of cover in there, and they just play those long angles knowing that 86 are playing kind of one way, you know, just that one road. And oh, Joe has tried, again, another very risky thing to go for. It's that jump in towards mud. I know that Helios, whenever they tried it, actually worked for them in their rounds, but not working this time for Joe. And that will cost this team a big opening kill again. And this is where I worry for 86, because on these bar attacks, if they don't have that opening pick, they just stop.
It's very difficult to deal with the players upstairs if you've not got someone you can just dedicate onto a window.
Yep.
And whilst Curly's able to do that now, he isn't going to be able to do it for the duration of the round. See shots exchange there. Nitro does get himself away and chunk drawdown in the process. Curly's still able to hold onto the window. Only 4 drones left. Not even the halfway point of the round. It doesn't bode well here for how much information is going to be available. Obviously, we've got the Argus cameras as well. Curly looking to try and pinpoint onto Brian. But Helios,
this is good.
They're doing exactly the same again, Demo. They're not moving. They're not needing to.
Oh, Brian has somehow been able to skate across. A bit of a bad angle for him to try and challenge onto. Takes a lot of damage. Akari has found one on Tene, and now it is going to be a 4 versus 4. Look at the damage, though, being done onto Helios players. Brian will win that engagement against Curly, and I thought Curly would have had him. I thought they kind of had that Jaeger pinched and trapped out, but nope. Not going to work for them right now. Draw, that's an Renegade they have to try and get free. Will burn up a smoke grenade, but they know that somebody's still lurking towards bedroom. They know about Nitro. He was here earlier inside of the round, and I think Draw, he does have a bit of a suspicion, Ollie, but will he take the plunge? Right now, I think he needs to. His team is not in a good position. It's a 3 versus 4. 86, they have control of library, and now because of that, they're just going to leave the Mozzie alone. They're going to leave him alone, let him do what he wants to do, and I'm sure probably put up a flank cam for them. I think that would probably be the easiest thing for 86 right now.
I imagine there's a flank camera in place if they are just going to be giving it up like that. You can see them droning out onto the site as well, opening up the hatch and looking to try and make good on a bit of a hatch drop. Great play there from Draw. There was a camera, and Nitro, he wasn't able to find it. Brian grabs one back into the trade. It's 2 versus 2 with 20 seconds left. Monkey, he's holding onto the hatch. He's looking down into back storage, but he doesn't know that somebody is going to be perking on through. Purple, what a play. He's crouch walked himself up main stairs. He's found the down. A diffuser desperately trying to be recovered. No, instead, the revive. 8 seconds left. There's not a lot of time to be going for this. You need to try and recover the diffuser and be going for the plant. Brian is there to collect one, and Purple the second. What a great rotation by Purple.
Yeah, Purple rotates up the stairs. No flank cam only. I mean, you mentioned about 86. They didn't have a lot of drones left. What, 2 minutes, 1 minute 30? They were down to about 4 drones. Yep. You know, they did well to set up the flank cams for the player over towards bedroom, but not having the lobby checked is a bit of a surprise. But then again, that might play into 86, and whenever they lose that man advantage, they kind of lack somebody rotating towards lobby. It doesn't really work for them from that stage because, like you said, you know, we know Joe and his rotations that he likes to go for. He likes to get in, assist his team with library, and then he's fond of trying to take control of lobby and get himself pushed down towards that kind of kitchen corridor and really expose the bomb site for what it is. But, yep, Helios got a battle back. You know, it wasn't looking good for them. 86 somehow turned that round into their favour and then just snatched away from them and right back.
I'm not sure what it is about that site and Purple, but he always seems to pop off. He had a quiet round that time right up until the bitter end. And even then, he was in position to do the damage. That rotation, as you say, huge stuff. A lot of drones being lost from VIPERIO, a lot of information, despite the Argus cameras as well. And I think they've maybe focused in a little bit too heavily on what Nitro was doing and what the Roman Mozzie was doing and worried about trying to lock that one off. And you think, at that point, right, we've got the flank in place. No, there was another. And that was the unpredictability. That was something that they really couldn't account for there. Once again, it puts Helios onto a match point, this time an overtime match point. VIPERIO, lots on the line again. They're really being pushed here inside of this one. Not a lot separating these two teams at all.
So defense, 486. Haven't seen them here in a while. And they go upstairs. Again, those mirror windows, Kaid, very, very strong combination, as we know, Ollie. Can deny really anything that the hard breachers want to go for. Haven't seen a whole lot of hard breach action actually from Helios on the attacks. An interesting pickup, Ollie. We're seeing Kali, I think. Is it potentially the first time we've seen Kali here in the season? I think it might be. Interesting pickup. Again, Kali has that one-shot sniper rifle, which can be difficult to land your shots. Not again.
What is going on?
Okay, thankfully they've got the refrag, but again, that's a similar position that we've seen Draw play the last time they defend up here.
Well, Draw finds one before being taken out. It's semi-worthwhile, but it's a lot of control given away very early on. Helios haven't wasted any time there getting into library. There's no niceties, there's no how'd you do, there's no drone. It's just straight away players hopping in through windows. Now the Kali, as you mentioned, is an interesting point. I think it was probably brought to try and assist not only the breach getting open, but attacking into that library and to be there to really try and take any sort of sniper pot shots at anybody that's going to be rotating out. But that job has been done now.
It has been. Looks as if they've been able to actually use the Kali charge to open up that breach. Joe is in a bit of a tricky position. If you're kind of stuck now, it's going to be difficult for him. And now he has to swing off that mirror window being open. He sees ahead of a Twitch, but will not thread the needle, will not find the kill. What has happened?
Going on?
Brian has missed his nade, and he's actually eliminated Robin. And Helios, this is not good for them. Nay has found Joe. We know he's in a bit of a bad spot there. He has been eliminated. Maybe Joe should have used that opportunity to maybe escape after that calamity.
There's still an opportunity for a battle back here, team kill or not. Helios aren't in a bad position. They've got a lot of time going for them. We see Monkey making that rotation. There's 2 C4s available, and if Monkey's going to try and use his from below, he could do something to deny this plan. Brian going to be playing onto the window. Curly does get himself down, so that's 1 C4 gone here. Could call out a bit of information as players start to push in through into Piano, but ultimately, what is he going to provide if Nitro's going to be knocking him down like that? Finds himself too. Puts Monkey inside of the clutch. There's a minute. He's got so much information to work with, but can he land his shots here? Does have a C4, hits one, finds the second. Monkey, what are you doing to us here? He's drawn for the shotgun. Desperate times, desperate message, gets juiced up there by the Thunderbird. He's locked into this 1 versus 1. Both players taking a second to try and reload here. Monkey with the shotgun at close range. He's gonna find it. What a clutch from Monkey!
How on earth has he done that? My, oh my.
Even he doesn't know.
Never. That should never, ever happen. never happen.
Man. What is going on?
Oh. I mean, look at Monkey. He can't believe it himself. He's gone. He's disappeared.
No, he's had enough. The chair has been, he kicked himself back from the desk. He's gone, I just need a moment to process what I've just pulled off there. That second shot demo.
That was
that second shot was something special. That was a hip fire.
Yeah.
That was something special. Obviously, the shotgun, it's not ideal, but you got to go for it. How have Helios thrown that one?
And this is the first tactical timeout we're seeing from either side, and it's gotten to round 14.
Is this just Monkey needing a minute to collect his thoughts?
I think yes. I think it now. Okay, yes, you've done so well, but it's not over. We still need one more round. 86 have been very weak on their attacking sides. Very, very weak. I think this is a good chance for them now to talk about what they want to do. Again, we know that bar is locked off. That was the main issue. So it's either going to be the upstairs or the two downstairs ones, which again aren't the best defender sites. Obviously, I think bedroom is definitely the second favourite. So if you know you're going to go for this bedroom take, which they've had good success with it. They have had very good success whenever they've played pretty basic siege. If 86 can go back to that basic siege, they should be able to run away with this. I think now just because they have this bomb site choice, the fact that that clutch happened,
yeah,
it's there for them. This has been a good site now, if it is going to be that upstairs.
You cast your mind back to a couple of rounds ago and you think about 86 had a couple of really good rounds back to back. They look clean. Everyone was working together. There was a clear purpose. If they can muster a little bit of that here, they could still come out the winners of map 1. And we've got at least one more map lined up after this.
Yep.
Potentially two, depending on how it goes. Already a max OT on Chalet. It's the series everybody wanted.
It is. It is indeed. So, it is that upstairs. Looking at the lineup from Helios. No traps. Frost is gone, which is usually a bit of a main pick for them. We're seeing smoke come in. When's the last time you've seen Helios with smoke? They don't play that operator. One of the most picked defenders. They're not interested.
They've been a little bit interested in this game. I think one or two times maybe, but it's Nitro on the smoke this time. I think we've seen it sort of flexed around between the lot of them. I mean, is there an argument, Demo, to say that if Nitro isn't playing Frost, Helios are throwing? Because we know what he can do. We know what he's capable of.
Don't tell me Helios have all of a sudden decided, you know what, maybe we should actually win.
They've all of a sudden got a conscience.
What do you think?
They've all of a sudden want to try and pull out some strats.
Yep.
I mean, we're still seeing the Rook, so it really is.
True.
It's up for debate on how serious the lineup's being.
6 impacts, by the way. That's a lot. That is a lot. It looks like 86, they're going to actually revert to the first time, I believe, they attacked the bedroom.
This is scary.
It's a solar attack, Ollie. Joe, again, downstairs, looking for that trench. Like you've mentioned, that's an area he wants to go for. But maybe because Helios, they've kind of been exploited from library every time, and Joe, for the last 2 rounds, is always entering towards library.
Yeah,
you've kind of lulled them in now into a kind of false sense of hope. And this potentially might not work out. Nitro is being constantly droned there by a Twitch drone. That's, again, good info. Clearing out these roamers. They're making sure that Joe isn't going to die. They want to make sure he's alive, utilize the nades that he has. See some yellow pings come in, but doesn't look as if anything's going to come off it. Oh, well, there's a kill. Joe goes down. Purple, I think, dropped the hatch in towards Kitchen. Olena has won that engagement, but nobody's there for the refrag from 86. I'm surprised.
I'm really surprised, especially with the information that they had available. You can see that Purple is one shot there. He's struggling to actually take out the drone. Probably scared of getting down but not outed, but he can drop the hatch. He can get himself to some relative safety. Still only one shot, so can very easily be caught out here. But that entry for Joe, it's just not been good. To struggle again in the round that VIPERIO needed most. Really not ideal. Draw going to be looking to try and start to cut off some of these angles, but it's kind of surprising to see those windows barricaded, Demo, at this point in the round, still.
Yeah, again, 86, whenever they lose that opening engagement, they go very, very slow, and right now it's not working for them. Draw will make an approach. He jumps straight in towards the bathroom, Ollie, and that does give them a good fold. Very, very solid positioning from Draw right now. Finds 2. It's not over yet. 86. Bedroom is open for them. They can easily run in and try and get this diffuser down with the position that Draw's in. He separates the attackers away from the defenders. Draw is going absolutely massive. A carry jumps on the one and Draw with a quad. What a play from Draw. Sees an opportunity. Realizes that nothing is happening for my team. I have to make the play. And what a play he's made.
Draw there coming in big in the end. It wasn't looking great, I'll be honest with you. VIPERIO, it was a 3 versus 5 that they've been able to pull off there, and it was all off the back of that beautiful F2 on Twitch. We get a glimpse there at the scoreboard. Big high-scoring game for both teams there. A lot of kills coming out. Some really big players in that one, Demo.
Big plays from 86. Helios looked as if they were going to run away with it. For a moment there, I thought, okay, 86, you can attack. That's going to be you done. You know, was it 4 rounds in a row they lost on the attacks? And then they just about clawed back. But we have to talk about the monkey round. That was...
Oh, man. I mean, that was what started everything.
What a turn. And it just gave them that confidence. You know, again, even that last round, it wasn't looking good for 86. It just felt as if most of the game, it wasn't looking good for 86. And they still managed to win.
It really wasn't. And it's kind of surprising, right? Because we were coming into this one and we were hoping and expecting 86 to be the more structured team. And they've got the win on Chalet there off the back of individual performance, big clutches, things that aren't repeatable in any sense of the word, and things that ultimately, honestly, shouldn't be happening inside of a competitive game of Siege, but they did. 86, they are going to take Chalet. We're going to cut to a very short break before coming back. We do have at least one more map lined up in this series. We're going to Coastline next.